This is a news break from Beaumont, Texas. I am Gail Jones reporting that Dean Talbot has harvested a basketball-sized blackberry from his very own backyard. Oh my gosh, I was there yesterday. It's unbelievable. I picked about 3 pints of those things yesterday, and I couldn't believe, look how beautiful they are. They're just stunning. Oh, well, I go to church with Dean. Did I mention that? Well, you know how those computer enhancements go, but they're beautiful blackberries, and I'm going to make a fabulous Blackberry Dream for you today. So let's get started. All right, I've taken a borrowed dish. You know, we've had to beg, borrow, and, well, not steal, but almost for this contest because, I mean, we've got to be memorable, right? So I wanted a beautiful dish for this pie, and my little Canadian neighbor just happened to have a really old one in her cabinet. I raided her cabinet yesterday and just looked all through there, and I used her trifle bowl yesterday, and this is going to be so much fun. So I sprayed the bottom of this with Baker's Joy just to kind of not have a big cleanup because I'm all about not cleaning up. And I'm going to take 2 cups of those fabulous, well, not basketball size, but fabulous, luscious blackberries. I'm just going to pour those right in my little dish. I don't want to fill this too full. Well, actually, I'm going to use a few more. I'm going to use 2.5 cups, or maybe 3 cups. Let's see how it goes. I don't always go by the directions, but the final will have it. Okay, so now we've got a total of 3 cups of blackberries. Okay, here we go. To this, I'm going to nestle 4 ounces of that fabulous cream cheese. I've cut it up in blocks. I'm using 4 ounces. I've cut it up in about 9 little blocks, and I'm just going to nestle those right in between those fabulous, luscious blackberries. They're going to be so yummy that it's unbelievable. Blackberries and cream cheese, there just couldn't be anything any better. They're just going to be all nestled right in those fabulous berries. Now, this is kind of a little small dish today, but if you'd like to use a bigger dish, so much the better. All right, we've got those in there. I'm going to just mix 2 tablespoons of flour with 3/4 cup of sugar. And I'm just going to mix that till it's stirred up a little bit. And we're going to pour that directly over our blackberries. And we're going to top that with a crust that I got right from the refrigerated section. I'm going to cut that into strips so you can see how quick this little dessert's going to be. Blackberries are in right now. They're plentiful, but you can usually find them in the off season just as well. So we've got that stirred up. Now I'm just going to scatter that right across my blackberries. Blackberries are my favorite. I love to make fresh blackberry pie every year. It is just absolutely unbelievable. They're just so yummy. All right, we just about got all that scattered. All right, now we're going to take about 1/4 of a teaspoon of butter, and we're going to just put those little pieces of butter. Did I say 1/4 of a teaspoon? I meant 1/4 of a stick. Just going to put those little squares everywhere because that's going to come right up in our little crust that we're going to lattice work on the top of there. It's going to be so yummy. So it's just little pat-sized butters, chunks of butter. I absolutely love butter. My mother thought you could never have too much butter. So here we go. We've got our 1/4 stick. That's about 2 big tablespoons, maybe 3 tablespoons. So you're just going to adjust it to the size of your dish, actually. So here we go. We've got that done. Let's move this dish away. Over here with my beautiful hydrangeas from my garden. I love flowers. Love to garden. Love to do just about anything. So we've got our prepared pie crust. Not prepared, but it's a rolled pie crust from the refrigerated section, like I mentioned. I'm going to take my pizza cutter, and I'm just going to cut little strips. And they're going to be about, maybe 1 inch wide, something like that. Because we're going to lattice work that right across the top and make a pretty little crust. And it's going to be golden brown when it's done. Alrighty, we're going to take the center sections so they'll go across the longest part of our dish. Alright, we're just going to lay those across like that. And you don't have to be real picky with these lattice crusts. You can get as decorative or as simple as you'd like. To me, the taste is what matters most. So I always go for taste. So you don't have to get in a real big knot if your lattice work is not perfect. We're just going to lay this across. I'm going to lay about 3 of them that way. Kind of scoot that over a little bit. I'm going to take some of the shorter strips and we're just going to lay them like that. And I'm going to trim those after we get them crossways. I'll just trim those with my little pizza cutter again. And we're going to pop this little thing in the oven after I have, actually I like to just fold the crust in. Who can have too much crust? So I usually just tuck mine in the bowl like that. And I bake the extra parts of the crust with a little cinnamon and sugar. And while the pie's getting ready, somebody can munch on those little leftovers. So just tuck those all in neatly right in your pie crust. Those berries are going to make the nice, juicy inside. That butter is going to cook up through that crust. And then I take about a tablespoon of sugar and I just sprinkle it across this crust. This is sort of the old-timey method, old-timey bowl. And this is about, a good tablespoon of sugar I'm sprinkling across the top. Okay, we're good. Now, you can see what a gorgeous, gorgeous dish that's going to make. Is that not going to be gorgeous? So we're going to pop that in the oven at 400 for about 30 minutes. And just until the crust gets nice and brown. And when that happens, I'll be back and we'll have a taste. Alrighty.